Elementary transformation of a matrix. A matrix can be transformed to another matrix by certain operations, and that operations are called elementary row operations. We can change one matrix into another one matrix by using some operations, and these operations are that calculations are said to be elementary row operations. Elementary row and column operations. So first subdivision is we can interchange any two rows or columns of the matrix. Then what matrix we are getting will be equivalent to the original matrix. Okay, that is, it will not be equal, it will be equivalent. This symbol is said to be equivalent. So this is the given matrix. I can interchange the first row and second row. Okay, so the second row elements will come to the first row place and first row elements will go to the second row place. So if I interchange like this, then these two matrices will be equivalent. Second one is multiplication of each element of a row or column by any non-zero scalar. That is, I can select any one row or column and I can multiply that row or column by a non-zero scalar. For example, see here I have a matrix 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. I am going to take R1 as R1 implies or R1 gives 2 times R1. So take this first row, multiply each and every element by 2. So what you will get? 2, 4, 6. The other two rows will be in the same way. Same way you can do for any column also. So these two matrices are equivalent. Third one is we can replace a row or column of the matrix by a sum of the row or column with a non-zero scalar multiple of another row or column of the matrix. So what they have given here is you select any one row or column. Along with that row or column, you can add a scalar multiple of another one row or column. So here you see the example. We have the matrix like this. I am taking the first row. First row can be written as first row plus the non-zero scalar I am taking it as 2. 2 times the second row. So first you have to take the first row element plus 2 into this term, second row element. So 2 into 2, 4 plus this one, 5. So 1 plus 2 into 3, that is 6. So 1 plus 6 is 7. Then 1 plus 2 times R2. 1 plus 2 it is 3. So these two matrices are equivalent. Definition: a non-zero matrix E is said to be in row echelon form if it satisfies the first three conditions. Okay, so listen. A non-zero matrix is said to be in row echelon form if it satisfies these three conditions. We can see one by one. If you see in the book, they have given just the definition. I have given for each point one example. Then it will be clear for you. First point is all zero rows of E occur below every non-zero row of E. Example. So listen what they have given here is a zero row. Zero row means in a row if all the elements are zero means it is said to be zero row. So here this last row is a zero row. So every zero row occurs below a non-zero row. That is, you see here all the elements are 0. It is 0 row. It occurs below this second row, isn't it? But this second row is a non-zero row, isn't it? That only they have given first. The second point is the first non-zero element in any row I of E occurs in the jth column of E. Then all other entries in the jth column of E below the first non-zero element of row I are 0. So what they have given is, if I am taking the first row, okay, so you take the first non-zero element here. So 6 is the first non-zero element in the first row. So below that all the elements will be 0. Same way you see here the second non-zero element is 1. So below that what are the terms we have? It will be 0. Only then it will be in echelon form. Same way you see here the first non-zero element is what? Here in the first row it is 1. Below that all the elements will be 0. The second that is the first non-zero element in the second row is 3. Below that the term is 0. Now the third point. The first non-zero entry in the ith row of E lies to the left of the first non-zero entry in I plus 1th row of E. Okay, so listen here. Here in the first row, the first non-zero element is what? 6. In the second row, the first non-zero element is what? 1. So the first non-zero element in the first row lies towards the left side of the first non-zero element in the second row, isn't it? So same way you see here, in the first row the first non-zero element is 1, it is here, and in the second row the first non-zero element is 3, it is here. So the first non-zero element in the first row lies towards the left side of the first non-zero element of the second row. Same way here also you can see. In the first row, first element is non-zero. In the second row, third element is only non-zero. So the first non-zero element in the first row lies towards the left side of first non-zero element in the second row. Same way if you see the third row, in the third row, the first non-zero element is in the last place. So the first non-zero element in the previous row, that is in the second row, lies towards the left side of the first non-zero element in the third row. So if these three conditions are satisfied, means only you can say the given matrix is in the row echelon form. Okay. So now we are seeing some examples for the matrices that is not in row echelon form. Okay. So you see this matrix, it is not in row echelon form because here the first non-zero element is what? 5. But here the first non-zero element is 1. That is, the first non-zero element in the second row is 5 and it is in the last place. And in the third row the first non-zero element is 1 and it is here. But what condition we have here? The first non-zero entry in the ith row of E lies to the left of the first non-zero entry in the I plus 1th row of E. According to that, here this third row element should be in the second row place and second row element should be in the third row place. Only then it will be in the echelon form. Okay, because the second row first non-zero element is not in the left side of the third row first non-zero element. If you see here the next example, this is also not in the echelon form because the first non-zero element in the first row is what? 3. Okay, so below that all the elements should be 0, but here below that all the terms are not 0. So it is not in the echelon form. And it may be somewhat confusing for you, but when we do many sums, it will be clear for you. Now we are seeing what is a submatrix. Submatrix means a matrix will be given. Okay, so from that A matrix A I am taking. A matrix is given. From this A matrix I can get some other matrices, isn't it? By deleting any row or column. If I delete any row or column from A and if I get another one matrix, means that matrix is said to be a submatrix of A. For example, you take this matrix, this is A. So here I am removing the first row and last column. So what I will get? D, E, G, F, G, H. So that is one matrix and this is said to be a submatrix of A. Same way you see here I am removing only the last row. So like this I will get a matrix and this is also what is submatrix of the given matrix. Note, a matrix is a submatrix of itself because it is obtained by leaving 0 number of rows and 0 number of columns. So what they are saying is the given matrix, if you are taking A, means this matrix is a submatrix of itself. Okay, because it is obtained by leaving no rows and no columns. So the given matrix is a submatrix of that itself. Now we can see what is minor. Minor means the determinant of a square submatrix is called minor of the matrix. So listen here, just now we saw what is a submatrix, isn't it? So for a given matrix we can form different submatrices. So among all the submatrices, the determinant of a square submatrix is only minor. So you see here this is a square submatrix because the given matrix is a square matrix of itself. So this is a square submatrix, this is a square submatrix. But this is not a square submatrix. The number of rows and columns are not equal here, isn't it? So the determinant of square submatrix, that is the determinant of square submatrix is only minor. So the determinant of this matrix as well as the determinant of this matrix, you can take it as minor of the given matrix. Now we can see what is rank of a matrix. So for a given matrix, so some matrix is given means we can associate each matrix to a non-negative integer. That is, for each matrix you can give some number 0, 1, 2, etc. Okay. So rank in the class itself will give ranks for each student, isn't it? Some students will not get any rank, that is 0. Okay. Some students will get first rank, second rank, third rank, like that, isn't it? So the same way for each matrix we can give some non-negative integer, that is only rank. For finding rank, we have two methods. The first one is minor method. Second one is row reduction method or row echelon form. So note, the rank of a null matrix is 0. Null matrix means, you see here, in a matrix all the elements will be 0. Then it is said to be a null matrix and the rank of that is 0. Next one is rank of an identity matrix of order n is n. So you see here, this is the identity matrix of order 2, isn't it? So the rank of this will be 2. So here in general, the rank of an identity matrix of order n is n. Then if a matrix contains at least one non-zero element, then rank of A is greater than or equal to 1. So listen, for null matrix, that is all the elements are 0 means only the rank is 0. For all other matrices, that is at least one non-zero element is there means it is not a null matrix. So if at least one non-zero element is there means its rank will be greater than or equal to 1. It may be 1 or greater than that. Fourth one, if A is an m by n matrix, then rank of A is less than or equal to minimum of m comma n. Okay, so listen, if we have a matrix of order 3 by 4, then the rank of this matrix, if I take the matrix as A means, then the rank of this matrix will be less than or equal to the minimum of these two values. It is 3, isn't it? So the rank of A may be 3 or 2 or 1. Okay, so like this we have. Then next point is a square matrix A of order n has inverse if and only if rank of A is equal to n. So if you have a square matrix and its order is n means, then that matrix will have inverse only if the rank of A is equal to the order of the given matrix. Suppose the given matrix is of order 3 means, then the rank of that also should be 3. Then only the given matrix will have the inverse. Now we can see the sums. So exercise 1.2, first sum. Find the rank of the following by minor method. So we are going to see how to find the rank using minor method. The first subdivision, matrix 2 minus 4 minus 1 2. So first you take the given matrix as A. Let A is equal to the given matrix. So listen, what is the order of that? 2 cross 2, isn't it? So the rank of A will be less than or equal to 2. That is, it may be 2, 1, 2 or 1. It will not be 0 because at least one element is non-zero in this matrix. So how we can do this sum is, first you have to find whether it is a square submatrix. Okay, so it is a square matrix only. So you can find the determinant of this. Determinant of A is equal to determinant of this matrix. So how we will find the determinant? 2 into 2, 4, minus of minus 1 into minus 4, it is 4. So 4 minus 4, it is equal to 0. So if the determinant of this matrix is equal to 0 means, then the rank is not equal to this order. Okay, so rank of A is not equal to the order of this matrix is what? 2. Rank of A is not equal to 2. Now we have to check whether the rank is equal to 1. For that we have to take 1 by 1 square submatrix. Okay, 1 by 1 square submatrix means what? One element. So at least one element is non-zero here means, then the rank of A will be equal to 1. So till we get not equal to 0, till we get the determinant as not equal to 0, we have to do. So 1 by 1 means at least one element is not equal to 0 means we will say the rank of A is equal to 1. Now you can see the second subdivision. So you see here the matrix is matrix minus 1, 3, 4, minus 7, 3, minus 4. So here it is not a square matrix, isn't it? So we have to take the square matrices from this. So first you see here the order of this is what? 3 by 2, isn't it? 3 rows are there and 2 columns. So what will be the rank of this? Rank of A will be less than or equal to minimum of these two values. So it will be 2. So we have to check from the maximum value. First you have to check whether the rank is 2. So for that you have to take 2 by 2 square submatrices. So I am taking the first two rows. Determinant of minus 1, 3, 4, minus 7. Find the value of this. It is minus 1 into minus 7, 7 minus 4 into 3 is 12. So 7 minus 12, it is minus 5. It is not equal to 0. If we get not equal to 0 means that will be the rank. Okay. So rank of A is the order of this matrix. It is 2. So rank of A is equal to 2. Now the third subdivision. The given matrix is matrix 1 minus 2 minus 1 0 3 minus 6 minus 3 1. So first take the given matrix as A. The order of this is 2 by 4. 2 rows and 4 columns are there. So rank of A will be less than or equal to the minimum of this, that is 2. So you have to check whether the rank is 2 or 1. So you have to take 2 by 2 determinants. So I am taking the first 2. Okay, we have to check for all the 2 by 2 determinants. If we get not equal to 0 means you can finish there. Okay, so I am taking the first 2 columns. If I take the first 2 columns, you see here like this, I will get 1 minus 2, 3 minus 6. If you simplify this, it will be minus 6 minus of minus 6. So minus 6 plus 6, it is 0. Since it is becoming 0, I have to try for the other 2 by 2 determinant. So if I take the first and last, what I will get is 1, 3, 0, 1. It is 1 minus 3. Okay. So here that is 1 minus 0. So it is 1. It is not equal to 0. So what you can say, the rank of A is equal to 2. Not equal to means the rank will be the order of the given matrix. If you can take another one set, that is these two terms, if you take also, what you will get is it is minus 1. It is not equal to 0. Therefore, rank of A is equal to 2. It is not necessary to write everything. At least one non-zero term we need. Okay. The next one is fourth subdivision. So here the given matrix is 1 minus 2 3 2 4 minus 6 5 1 minus 1. So let A equal to this matrix. It is a 3 by 3 matrix. So the rank of A is less than or equal to minimum of this means 3. So first we have to check whether the rank is equal to 3. So take the determinant of this matrix. So put plus minus plus. So plus, along with that take this number 1. Then leave this first row and first column. So determinant of this you will get. It is what? 4 into minus 1 is minus 4 minus minus 6. So it will become plus 6. Then minus of minus 2, it will become plus 2. Leave the first row and second column. So these two values you will get. 2 into minus 1 minus 2 minus of minus 30, it will be plus 30. Then plus 3 into, leave the first row and last column. So this determinant you will get 2 minus 20. So here minus 4 plus 6 means it is 2. Then here minus 2 plus 30 is 28. 28 into 2, 56. Here it is minus 18. Minus 18 into 3, it is minus 54. So 56 minus 54, it is 2. 2 plus 2, 4. It is not equal to 0. So the rank of A is equal to the order of this matrix. It is 3. So rank of A equal to 3. Now the next one, fifth subdivision. So matrix like this we have. First let A equal to this matrix. The order of this is 3 by 4. So rank of A will be what? Less than or equal to the minimum of this, that is 3. So we have to check whether the rank is 3. So here totally 4 possibilities of 3 by 3 determinant you will get. So if you are getting not equal to 0, you can stop there. Otherwise all the 4 possibilities we have to check. So I am taking the first determinant, first 3 columns I took. Okay. So you see here in the first column 2 terms are 0. So you can expand along the first column, it will be easy for you. The sign will be plus minus plus. Since these 2 terms are 0, you don't want to include that. So 8 into, leave this last row and first column. It is 4 minus 4, it is becoming 0. So we have to try for the next 3 by 3 determinant. Now I am taking the last 3 columns. So like this you will get. You put plus minus plus and you can expand it. I explained here, isn't it? In the previous sum how to expand. So same way if you expand it, you are getting 2. It is a non-zero value. So the rank of A is equal to the order of this, that is 3. Exercise 1.2, question number 2. Now you are going to find the rank using row reduction method or row echelon form. So one matrix is given, isn't it? So first you take the given matrix as A. we have to bring it to row echelon form. We saw 3 conditions, isn't it? So first what you want to do is, usually we will make the first term as 1. Even if it is not 1, no problem. But if it is 1 means the calculation will be little bit easier. Here already it is 1 only. So we can keep like this itself. So now the first non-zero element in the first row is 1. Below that, what are the terms we have? We have to make it as 0. Isn't it? These two terms we have to make it as 0. So how we can make this as 0? You can take R1. So 2 minus 2 is only 0, isn't it? So I am going to change this 2. For that I have to take the whole row. So R2 I am going to change. So R2, what I am going to change, that I wrote by the side. Okay. So what calculation I am going to do inside, that I have written by the side. So R2 I am going to change it as R2 minus 2 times R1. Okay, so 2 minus 2 is only 0. So I cannot select only one number. The whole row I have to take. So R2 is R2 minus 2 times R1. So 2 minus, the calculation I have written here. Okay, you can do it as mind calculation also. So first R2. R2 is what? 2 minus 1, 3, 4. This row element fully I wrote. Next I need minus 2 R1. Isn't it? You can find 2 R1, then you can subtract. Or you can find minus 2 R1 and then you can add. So I am finding minus 2 R1. So minus 2 into this R1 term. So multiply each and every element of R1 element by minus 2. It is minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 6. Okay, so like this you will get. Now we can add both R2 minus R2 times R1. So 2 minus 2 it is 0. Then minus 1 minus 2 it is minus 3. 3 minus 2 1. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. So these elements you can write along the second row. Okay. So it is 0 minus 3 1 minus 2. Next we have to make this term also 0. Isn't it? So we can select the same R1 for this. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So we have to take the whole row. R3 can be written as R3 minus 5 times R1. So the calculation I have written here. R3 element first you have to write. R3 element is what? 5 minus 1, 7, 11. That only I wrote here. Next we need minus 5 times R1. Okay. So here also same way. You can find 5 times R1 and you can subtract both. Or you find minus 5 times R1 and you add both. I am finding minus 5 times R1. So you multiply R1 by minus 5. So minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 15. So write it here. Okay. So R1 means not, okay, this R1, both are same only. Okay. So now we can add both. When you add both, what you'll get here, it is 0. Here minus 6, here 2, here minus 4. That you have to write along the third row. And here we are doing elementary row operation. So at that time you should not put equal. You have to put this equivalent symbol. Okay. The given matrix and this equivalent matrices will have the same rank only. So only we are finding the equivalent matrix. So one rule is over. We made all the elements below the first non-zero element as 0. So next what you are going to do is, here you see the first non-zero in the second row. In the second row the first non-zero element is what? Minus 3. So below that what term we have, that you have to make it as 0, isn't it? So this minus 6 I am going to make it as 0. After making these two elements as 0, we should not take the first row for making this as 0, because if you take along with this R3 first row R1, then this 0 will become a non-zero value. Okay, so we have to take only R3 and R2. So here how I am going to do is, minus 6 plus 6 is 0, isn't it? So this R3 minus 6 plus 6 is 0. So minus 6 minus 2 into this R2. Okay, only then this term will become 0. So R3, why I have written first subdivision, second subdivision means the first equivalent matrix calculation is this. The second equivalent matrix calculation is this. For that only first subdivision, second subdivision I have written here. But you can do it as mind calculation also if you want. So first we have to write R3. So write this R3 elements. Then minus 2 times R2. So multiply this by minus 2. So multiply it by minus 2 and add both. So 0, 0, 0, 0. So in the last row all the elements will become 0. And listen, at one time only maximum two calculations we can do. We should not do 3 calculations at a time. And like this, many of them what mistake they will do is they will write R2 as R2 minus R3, and R3 they will write R3 minus R2. Like that you should not write, because both are same. From the second row you are subtracting third row, or from the third row you are subtracting the second row. Okay, so any one calculation only you have to do among that. So now it is in the echelon form. So now we can find the rank of this matrix. So the rank of the given matrix and rank of this equivalent matrix will be same. So here how we have to find the rank is the number of non-zero rows. Okay, so rank, this symbol is only rank, like a row you have to put this. Okay, like this only you have to put. Row of A or rank of A is equal to number of non-zero rows. That is, if all the elements in a row are 0, means it is said to be a 0 row, isn't it? You should not take 0 row. What are the non-zero rows? Yeah, we have that you have to take. So first 2 rows are non-zero rows, isn't it? So the rank of A is here 2. Now the second one. If you understand one sum, other sums you can do. So one matrix is given, you have to find the rank of this using row echelon form. So first what you have to do, the first non-zero element is 1. What are the terms we have below that? You have to make it as 0, isn't it? So these 3 terms I have to make it as 0. So I am going to take this 3. 3 minus 3 is 0, isn't it? So R2 I am going to change it as R2 minus 3 times R1. And listen, I said you should not do more than 2 calculations at a time, isn't it? But here we had only 3 rows. 3 rows means 2 calculation. Here we have 4 rows. 4 rows means 3 calculations you can do. That is, number of rows and number of calculation will be 1 less than the number of rows. Okay, like that. So here 3 calculations you can do. So this 3 minus 3 is 0. So R2 I am changing it as R2 minus 3 times R1. And this R3 how we can change? 1 minus 1 is 0, isn't it? So R3 is R3 minus R1. Then R4 is R4 minus R1. Okay. Instead of this R4 minus R1, you can take it as R4 minus R3 also. But for R3, you should not take R3 minus R4. Okay. R3 is R3 minus R4 and R4 is R4 minus R3. Like that you should not take. But for any one, you can subtract these two. So when you do these calculations, R2 is R2 minus 3 times R1. You see here, first you write the second row. So the second row is this 3 minus 1, 2, isn't it? Then we need minus 3 times R1. So multiply the first row by minus 3. It is minus 3, minus 6, 3. Next you add both. It is 0, minus 7, 5. Okay. That you will have in the second row. Then we have to find the third row. It is what? R3 minus R1. That directly you can do, isn't it? 1 minus 1. It is 0. Minus 2 minus 2 minus 4. 3 minus of minus 1 plus 1. It is 4. Now the last row. Last row is last row minus the first row. 1 minus 1, 0. Minus 1 minus 2. It is minus 3. Here 1 minus of minus 1. It will be plus. So here 2. So next step what you have to do, the first non-zero element in the second row is minus 7. Below that what are the terms we have that you have to make it as 0. Listen, you don't want to put a circle like this and all for the test. That is for your understanding I have circle like this. These terms you have to make it as 0. Okay. So for making these two terms 0 also don't take R1. After making these terms 0 you should not take R1 because then these terms will change. So how we can make this term 0? So we have to multiply, that is how we can make it a 0 is minus 4 into this 7. Okay, the calculation will be here. So before that, okay, what they are doing is different ways are there. Okay, here what I have done is you can multiply, that is you can divide throughout by 4. So this R3 you can divide throughout by 4. So R3 divided by 4 means here in the third row 0 minus 1, 1 you will get. Okay. Now it will be easy to do. So now how you can make this as 0? I am taking R3 as well as R2. So if you multiply this by 7, minus 7 you will get. Then if you subtract along with R2 it will become 0. So multiply this R3 by 7 and subtract it with R2. 7 R3 minus R2. Next this term how we can make it as 0 is minus 3 plus 3 is 0. So minus 3, that is R4. Then here we need plus 3, isn't it? So subtracted, minus 3 times R3. So the calculation is here. So first we need 7 times R3. So when you multiply R3 by 7, it is 0 minus 7 minus 7. Okay. Then minus R2 we need, minus R2. So change the sign for R2, 0, 7 minus 5. Then add both. So 0, 0, 2. That you can write here. Then the next calculation, R4 is R4 minus 3 times R3. So the calculation is here. You can add it. You'll get like this. Now you see in the third row, the first non-zero element is 2. So below that what we have to make it as 0. So minus 1 is there. This term you have to make it as 0. So minus 2 plus 2 is only 0. So here we have to multiply by 1, 2. So R4 is 2 times R4 plus R3. So you'll get like this. And now this is in the echelon form. So rank of A is what? It is the number of non-zero rows. So the last row is fully 0. It is a 0 row. So 3 non-zero rows are there. So the rank is 3. Now the third subdivision. So here also we have a matrix. We have to find the rank of this. So first what you can do is, you can keep like this itself and you can do. Or if you make the first term as 1 or minus 1, the calculation will be a little bit easier. So what I am doing is, I am going to interchange the first row and last row. So this minus 1 you can bring it to the first row, isn't it? So interchanging, this symbol is interchanging R1 and R3. So I am taking these for last row element to the first row and first row element to the last row. This is the first step. Next what you have to do, we have to make these two elements 0, isn't it? The first non-zero element is minus 1. Below that what are the terms we have to make it as 0. So you take R1 for that. 2 minus 2 is 0. So you have to multiply this by 2 and you have to add it. So R2, how I am changing is, R2 is R2 plus 2 times R1. So the then same way, next one if you take means R3, how we can do? R3 is R3 plus 3 times R1, isn't it? The calculations are by the side. You can go through that. So second subdivision means the calculation of the second equivalent matrix. Okay, this calculation. Then third subdivision means the calculation for the third equivalent matrix. So it is very clear there. So the rank of this is in the echelon form. The rank of A is 3. Here there is no 0 row. Now the next sum is example 1.16. We have to find the rank of the following matrices which are in row echelon form. So it is already in the row echelon form only. We have to find the rank of this. We are finding the rank of this using row echelon form, that is a row reduction form, as well as minor method. Okay, like verification we'll write here. So let A equal to this matrix. So it is in the echelon form. Rank of A is what? The number of non-zero rows. So all the 3 rows you have to take, it is 3. This up to this itself is enough. But in the book they have given this as verification, the next steps, the minor method. So that also I am explaining. Okay. So the verification means using minor method they have proved here. So you see here it is a 3 by 3 determinant. So you can find the minor. Minor means what? The determinant of the square submatrix. Since this is a square matrix, you can find the determinant of this. You can put plus, minus, plus, and you can expand it. You see here along the first column. In the first column, these two terms are 0. Only one non-zero element is there, isn't it? So you expand along the first column. So 2 into, leave the first row and last column. That is, leave the first row and first column. So determinant of this you will get. It is what? 3 minus 0. So 3. 2 into 3 means it is 6. 6 is not equal to 0. So it is not equal to 0 means what we will do? We will take the rank as the order of this matrix. It is what? 3. So rank of A is 3. Now the next one, second subdivision also same way. It is in the echelon form. Rank of A is what? The number of non-zero rows. Here the last row is fully 0. So only the first row you have to take. The rank of A is 2. That you can find using minor method also, that is given as verification. So determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix if you take means you see the last row fully is 0. If any one row or column is 0, it will be 0. Here I expanded using the first column, but without that itself directly you can write 0. So if it is 0 means the rank of A is not equal to 3. Then you have to take 2 by 2 determinant. So I am taking this 2 by 2 determinant, 2, 2, 0, 5. It is minus 10, 0. So minus 10 only I will get. It is not equal to 0. So the rank of A is equal to 2. Third subdivision. This is also in the row echelon form. Here the last two rows are 0. So it is 0 rows. So only the first two rows are non-zero rows. The rank of A is equal to 2. Okay. So verification using minor method also we are finding the value. So we have to take square submatrix. So square matrix means it will be 3 by 3 matrix. So you can take 3 by 3 matrix from this. If you see here means in 3 by 3 matrix, anyway among these two rows, last two rows, any one row will be included. So if one row fully it is 0 means its determinant value will be 0. So the rank of A is not equal to 3 we will get. Then we have to check for 2 by 2 determinant. Okay, you can take these two, 6, 0, 0, 2. It is 12 minus 0, 12. It is not equal to 0. Therefore, the rank of A is what? The order of this matrix, it is 2. Now we can see the third sum in exercise 1.2. We have to find the inverse of each of the following by Gauss-Jordan method. Okay, that is if a matrix is given, you can find the inverse using this formula. In the first session we have learned this. A inverse is equal to what? 1 by determinant of A into H. It will be easy to do. But if it is asked, you have to find the inverse using Gauss-Jordan method. Like this only you have to do. So how we have to do is, first you take the given matrix as A. A is equal to 2 minus 1, 5 minus 2, the given matrix. Next you have to take the augmented matrix. Okay, augmented matrix means along with the given matrix you put slash, okay, one line, and you have to take the identity matrix. So if it is a 2 by 2 matrix means I2, identity matrix of order 2 we have to take. If it is a 3 by 3 matrix means you have to take the identity matrix of order 3. So matrix, first you have to write A matrix, then put a line, and you have to write the identity matrix corresponding to that. So now what do you want to